process the 168 hours since Sam scores the goal. There's a draft, there's free agency, there's a parade, there's moments with the cup, there's time with your family, there's the enjoyment of that moment. I don't know how you get through all of this sanely, if that's even a word.
I'm not sure I went into it sanely.
I don't think it is. How much did it add? These are great problems to have, sure, but how much does it add to the difficulty of you're on this super high, and now you've got to make really tough decisions there?
A lot of the contract and personnel decisions are contemplated through the year, right? So you have your pro meetings and all the different what-if scenarios. There's curveballs and there's opportunities presented that you hadn't anticipated. Case in point, right? And that present themselves, and we do a little bit of fantasy hockey in the what-if scenario, but for the most part, things happen and then you have to react. There were surprises, so that part was okay. Just a lot of, very little time. So maybe one good thing that will come of it is I think we're becoming more efficient, and I thought we were pretty efficient, but there's decisions to be made and everything happening in a short order. Yesterday was a little surreal, to participate in that and see the effusive joy. I think it was the Sun Sentinel. Someone read me an article. What was the headline, Addie?
I'll pull it up and let you know.
Okay. It was like the perfect 6 or 7 words that anyone could ever come up with to describe the day. And that was weird because the whole time I'm working. I keep looking at my phone, I'm looking at my watch, sorry.
You had
I
service?
have the quote. The title was, "They are one of us. Florida Panthers unite community with unpretentious Stanley Cup goodwill tour."
And wasn't that kind of what it was? And so I thought that was a really descriptive, really accurate description of the day. And my takeaway from that part was, probably sounds a little romantic or what have you, but I felt like that was the galvanizing moment for our players and our fans. The runner show ended, no one left. And everyone just kind of hung out. And there were all kinds of people. No one even knew who the people were. But everyone was happy and smiling, and everyone was enjoying the moment. And it reminded me, and the risk of overstating things, the relationship that you see in some of the European soccer clubs and their fans. Right? I just got that feeling. And it's very special.
Was there any moments, though, when you saw us like Brandon Montour doing something, or, guys that Ryan Lomberg, guys that you knew weren't probably coming back or knew for sure they weren't? Like, did you say, man, I'm going to miss this guy, for stuff like that or anything of the sort?
Yeah, I'm sure at some point there was, right, because they're all people, and to be that close and to watch what they did and their contribution, it's really hard. It's not a fun part of the job. It didn't really hit me in that moment. I was more impressed by everybody's joy and the families and the kids and the neighbors and that guy. I don't even know who that guy was, but he was in a good mood, I can tell you that. And he was welcome. He was welcome to be part of it. Sincerely welcomed by every one of those players. So.
Going back to last night, you get the Sam Reinhart deal. How close did you get to the midnight deadline, or was that just kind of overblown, or was you guys really negotiating till 11:58?
Was that a thing? I don't even know.
That's what they said. You had to have the
Because
paperwork.
nothing had been out there, everyone's like, oh, it's going right down to the wire.
I mean, it was later. He had I feel awful. I don't know all the details, but it's something like his best friend, plan your wedding.
Right.
And Yeah, for sure it's over. Remember that, I think the regular schedule said last day of the playoffs was the 21st. Like, yeah, we're safe. And so he was not here, and I don't know. It was not a thing for me. But I will say that you submit your contract to Central Register, you dot the I's and cross the T's, but you make sure, okay, if there's an issue, they'll call you back. And I fell asleep in the chair, waiting. And they only call you back if something's wrong, so it wasn't a big deal. No, but it was.
So it wasn't a last second, like,
No.
because
no.
everybody's like tweeting it, been, okay, well, Panthers, unless something is already filed, so we didn't know.
Sam tweeted?
No.
Or Craig?
All the insiders, all the NHL, and yeah. But we didn't know because the Central didn't give them the word, you know.
I was, hey, I wouldn't know. I was asleep. So.
So it was
But
done. It was-
we're wasting time on that.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
So it was done.
It's awesome. It's as both Sam and I said all during the year. Look, we wanted to keep him. He wanted to stay. We worked through the process. His agent was a gentleman. Everyone was all with the intention of trying to take care of Sam and still have a chance to win, and that was paramount to him in his decision making, and respect and happiness on that end, and we're just thrilled that he's a part of it.
How difficult was the decision of Reinhart?
It's a difficult part of the job, and it's easy to say, it's part of the job, and it's really hard. I haven't spoken to him yet. I'm trying to get calls in between other calls. It's a bigger thing than, in many ways, it's part of the family, all the guys, and everybody has a role. So it's hard.
Bill, on that though, whether it's Brandon Montour, Ryan Lomberg, Kevin Stedland, all these guys come here and they leave getting nice paydays and stuff like that. Just at the same time, how happy are you for those guys? We saw with Gudis last year. Just what does that say to the organization where guys seem to come here and then whether it's here or somewhere else, they're getting paid?
I can tell you, Rodko is such a special person that when we're on the ice, the guys are saying, Goods is texting us, congratulations. And and he's still, all these guys are still a part of things, forever. One of our goals, apart from the sort of the family culture with the team, in trying to get players to come, in trying to get players to fit so we can have as many good players and good people as possible, is the chance in the future, right, to really maximize your career. And so hopefully we can keep trying to have guys come, have that coaching staff pull the best out of them, have them be successful as teammates, as part of a team, and as individuals, so that they can move on. So I can go to the next person and say, we might not have as much money as whatever other city, but we have opportunity. And if you take advantage of the opportunity, it's worked well for a lot of people.
For a guy like Kulikov, spends the first half of his career here, bounces around a lot afterwards, comes back, to be able to give him term, to be able to give him multiple years, just for a guy like him to be able to get the 4 years and be able to know he has some stability after how much he's bounced around the last few years.
That's almost a statement that lends itself to we're trying to get guys to want to be here, and he's all in. He's all in 100%. He has a reasonable number, and I suspect he could have had a better financial picture somewhere else. He said, I'm all in, I want to stay. And, that's really, it's priceless. And to have a commitment from a guy like that with everything that he leaves out on the ice, it's encouraging.
You still have a couple players that haven't signed yet, some of your free agents, Stolars, Tarasenko, whatever. Not Stolars, I did it again.
I do the same thing,
Yeah,
Lawrence.
yeah.
You put a Z in there, you think you'd say Zito.
They came here on the same day. Lawrence.
So-
Anything on those guys?
We're working through it, and we haven't ruled anything out. it's just sort of, we get through the process. It's a strange day. There's been more discussion, at least from our part, between and among the teams than ever before. So that's a different twist on the equation.
And you got two new forwards. What are your thoughts there? Obviously good numbers, but do you think they slot in right on the fourth line? Or what are you thinking?
You know, you never just want to say that's what your limits. But what we want to do is keep going, keep evolving, right? Guys get paid, and everybody knows, right? Just look at Tampa, right? If you do well, you get paid, and then you can't keep everybody, and guys move on, and so we're trying to get other people in here who can contribute, who are good people, who are good team guys. And so AJ Greer and Tomas Nosek fit in. They have flexibility, they have a little grit, they have hockey sense, they can play a lot of different roles, and that's what we're trying to do, to grow there.
I'm sorry, is it different when you're calling the team, when you're calling other teams, you're talking to other teams? Is it a different dynamic when you're the president and GM of the Stanley Cup champion, as opposed to, because in theory, those 31 teams are every one of them is chasing you now. And no one's gonna go out of their way to help out the Florida Panthers, ever. Is it difficult to have conversations with teams about, what about this guy, when?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't noticed it. What you will notice, and we do the same thing, is you'll hear the phrase, another cup in the room, right? So somebody who knows, somebody who's been through it. And for those of you who were with us through last year, I don't know, is there anybody who doesn't think that experience didn't lend itself to supporting and actually helping this year's experience? And so now you take these guys, and wherever they go, wherever they end up, oh, we're in one. Yeah, okay, no problem, right? Stay the course. Like, we did it, right? I know, I've experienced it. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. So from that standpoint, I think that the players become more coveted. And I don't know about the team-to-team interaction. It's right with the salary cap right now, and then the supply and the demand of the players, it's almost a secondary thing. It's just trying to fit the square into the square hole. And you can have a more valuable triangle, but you need a square. and it's, I tell a story about trades where it's not always about the trade, but it's about the result. So you may have a situation where you're in the city and you have a ski chalet in the mountains, and your dream is to have your 7 best friends come for a ski weekend, and they show up, and it's awesome. It's Thursday night, you're going up to ski Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you have 4 Maseratis, two guys in each car, and you're going, and a blizzard comes. That's it. Your dream, you can't go. You can't drive in the snow. I don't know that for sure, right? They're race car Maseratis that you can't drive in the snow. And the neighbor says, I got 4 SUVs. You want to trade? Absolutely. And you lost the trade. You got killed on the trade, right? But you had your weekend. And so that's almost where we are now with regard to personnel acquisitions trades. It's like you're trying to put the puzzle together.
When you talk about putting puzzles together, the fact that the majority of your core is already under contract going into this, how much does that help knowing the base of what you want, what you've been building is here, and you're, like I said, trying to just round out what you have? The value of knowing that you're not having to build that base, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big head start, right? So you would say to yourself, if I can sort of twist your question a little bit, if you are not successful in getting every piece that you want to get, is the train still moving forward, right? Because the core you've built will sustain it. And, well, that's a hope for sure. I think it's the case. But we're still trying to get it right. We'll never stop trying to get the right pieces and the right people and plug them in.
Just got word Joel Quenneville's been reinstated.
Yeah.
You were obviously...
Is it where I think it is?
It's on, the NHL just released it.
Oh,
Wasn't an insider, it's NHL.
yeah.
You know,
Did they
press
say
release.
where?
Huh?
Did they say where?
Well, I'd say.
No, he's allowed to seat.
Oh,
He's
okay.
reinstated, not
Oh.
rehired.
Okay.
You were obviously here for all of that. Just your thoughts on Joel being now able to take a job somewhere.
Yeah, it's the whole situation is delicate. If the league has reached a point where they are comfortable, it's trying to choose my words carefully. You always want a good result for everybody, and I suspect that that's the case. I don't know for sure, but
I mean, you know
yeah.
the man personally. That's
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, as do you.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, you always want a good result for everyone.
Bill, were you close to keeping of the guys that left? Was anybody, did you have a shot at keeping any of them, or because of when you talked about their value went so high, you really didn't have a chance to keep anybody?
I don't know. Like the truth, I don't know, right? But certainly we had envisioned situations where, well, what if we keep this guy? What's going to happen here? What's likely? How would we do this? So there were none of the people who left who were like, oh yeah, you just leave, we don't care. Every decision we made was, well, if this, then we keep these guys. So in a perfect world, if you said to me, could I keep everybody? Yes. Right? That would have been my wish. So,
Bill, Antoine Lundell's another guy that needs a contract, but he's an RFA, so you got a little more flexibility there. How have the talks with his camp been, and are they looking for something more long-term or a bridge deal?
well, I won't talk about the discussions, but Anton's a guy that obviously we like a lot, and we want to keep him here. So,
And this isn't a contract question, but right now with Stellars or Lawrence, whatever, going to Toronto. Spencer Knight. The plan right now is Bob and Knight next year. The way it looks right this second.
yeah. So, as is the case with so many of the, I guess you could say, vacancies or holes where people move forward and move on. Particularly on July 1st, it's a fluid situation. So I can tell you, Sasha, he's in. Anybody with a no move, they're in. I don't know. I mean, I can't commit to anybody. I can't commit. It's too hard right now.
Right.
I can tell you, and I'll kind of reference what I just said. There's not a guy that I'd like to not be here. Right. So.
But the confidence level with what he did this year in Charlotte and
Oh yeah.
spent 2
I
months
have,
with you.
I have confidence in Spence. It's never wavered.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Bill.
So much.
Hey, Bill, can I ask you one thing?